am in the Lowe's Foods and I'm looking at spaghetti sauces. And probably other people are looking at me because I'm talking into my phone. But I'm wanting to take you shopping to look at the spaghetti sauces so you can see what I look for when I label read in the grocery store. Okay, so my family used to love Ragu. I'm not picking on any particular brand, but that's what I used to get. And I would get the chunky style garden combination because I thought I was getting great veggies in my kids. So let's take a look at the label. It's a half cup for a serving. I'm going to try and show it to you. It's a half cup per serving, and it's 14 carbs per half cup. When I look at the ingredient list is tomato puree, water. Can you see it? That's probably not working so well. Tomato puree, tomato paste, diced tomatoes, sugar, soybean oil, and so on. Why would they put sugar in my sauce? And I surely don't want soybean oil in there as well. The chunky tomato, garlic, and onion, 16 carbs per half cup. Way too much for me. So let's take a look at another brand, Prego. That's another one that's often on sale. It's $2.69 here for a 24-ounce jar. I'm just going to randomly look at the tomato, basil, garlic. Okay, so here's the Prego. Let's look at the label. Let's hope I don't drop it. The label says 12 carbs, 9 of those are sugars. And when you look at the ingredients, it has canola oil and sugar, neither of which I eat. Okay, so we've looked at the Ragu and we've looked at the Prego. Let's look at the Hunts. I like the Hunts because, well, to be honest, it's cheap. I'm going to pick up, which flavor? Garlic and herb or meat. We'll do the traditional. Let's do traditional. So here's the Hunts. It's in a can. And when I look at the nutrition, a half cup serving is 11 grams of carbs. That's a lot. And when I look at the ingredients, it has high fructose corn syrup. No thanks. That definitely goes back on the shelf. So let's take another look. Interestingly, what I'm finding is the lower carb versions are usually on the top shelf and more expensive. They put sugar and other fillers to add flavor. Here's a Nitty's home-style pasta sauce. I'm not familiar with this brand, but when I look at the carbs, there's 12 grams per half cup. And when I look at the ingredients, there is sugar. Definitely don't want that either. And then you get into some of the brands that say organic, all natural. Here's a Barilla. This is on sale, $2.50 a jar. It's Barilla tomato and basil. Look, it's all natural. Well, what does it say? 14 carbs per half cup. There's no way I'm eating that. And when you read the ingredients, there it is. Sugar. All right, let's keep going. Classico. Here's Classico. Let's see, roasted garlic. We'll try that flavor. I haven't looked at any of these in advance. So Classico, this is roasted garlic. And it's showing me 8 carbs per half cup. Not terrible. When I look at the ingredient list, it has diced tomatoes, tomato puree. It doesn't appear to have any added sugar. So it's 8 grams carbs per half cup. That's pretty carby for me, but I could do it if I thinned it with some bone broth. So that's the Classico. We'll see what the tomato and basil says. There's the tomato and basil version. And it says 9 carbs per half cup. So always, always, always read that. Now let me go to the top shelf where the ones I've been showing you are $2 and $3 per jar. I'm going to show you a low sodium marinara. That's called Victoria. I'm not familiar with this brand. And it is $7.49. And it has 6 carbs per half cup. That's the lowest we've picked up yet. The ingredients are whole tomatoes, onions, olive oil, garlic, basil, salt, spices. That's a pretty good ingredients list. 6 carbs per half cup, but gee, that's expensive. Let me go down here. This is Michael's of Brooklyn. It's on the top shelf. It's $10 a jar. And let's look at the ingredients. It's 6 grams of carbs per half cup, 4 grams of sugar. And that may be sugar from the tomatoes because sugar is in tomatoes naturally. They're just carby. And I'm looking for the ingredient list and trying not to drop the jar. And you know what? I don't see an ingredient list. How bizarre is that? Oh, there it is. This just says garlic, fresh basil, olive oil, oregano, parsley, spices, nothing else. And that's 6 carbs per half cup. What I normally use has 5 carbs per half cup, and that's the Rouse. Let me show you one more. This is the Mitza brand. It says homemade marinara, and when I look at the ingredients, it is 5 carbs, 5 grams per half cup. The ingredients are plum tomatoes from Italy, California plum tomatoes, olive oil, fresh onions, sea salt, garlic, basil, black pepper, and oregano. And it is $7.25. So that's probably the cheapest of the ones I've looked at. Honestly, that's probably what I would go with, even though it is more expensive. You know, it's frustrating that that's $7.25. There's a Newman's Own that's $2.50. When I look at the Newman's Own, though, it has 12 carbs per half cup. That's more than double, and my health is worth the extra money. I'm not going to check all the rest of them. We've checked most of them. I do want to show you something really quick. A mistake I made early on was I would get the creamy Alfredo because, well, who doesn't love Alfredo? And when you look at the carbs, there's 3 grams per quarter cup, which would be 6 grams per half cup. It's not that bad, but then when you start looking at everything that's in it, there's food starches, there's whey protein, which isn't bad, there's soy milk, there's all kinds of stuff in here that I no longer eat. So what do I do now? I make my own Alfredo sauce, and I can teach you how to do it too. Thanks for coming shopping with me. I hope it's been helpful as we went through the aisles, looked at those tomato sauces and the ingredients list, as well as the nutritional information.